Hi, I'm Allison Pryor and I teach acrylic paintings for the beginner step by step in real time so you can follow along with me. And today we are going to do this beautiful painting here called Sunset Waterfall. So now all we have to do is the bottom part. We're going to make it, this is a reflection into the water. So these colors up here are going to reflect into the water. And it might be a little distorted with other colors because of all the greens and the waterfalls, okay? You can make this waterfalls lighter by adding more white. So right now we're going to start with the bottom and we are going to fill in this little top up here when so I like moving around I really enjoy moving around my painting. I find it boring if I'm just staying in one spot all the time. So it's really nice to move around, get some of it done and then just move around to see where you want to go with it, because it's good to stand back and say, okay, well, what else does it need? And I would like to have something back here to show that the waterfalls is coming from the back and it's moving its way out. So now, let's see if we can get the bottom part here. Something like the top. And we will start with some yellow. I think yellow will do. Let's just go with some yellow, because I want to add some red to that also, because we want to get the reflection from the sky. And there we go. So yellow or red, that'll be nice. There we go. Just push it in there. Don't worry about how, if it's the yellow here and the red there. Just put it all on. Put yellow on first if you want, then throw some red in there. And see how nice that is? And when we put reflections in there and things, then you get reflections from the trees and the rocks. So we will continue on with the yellows and the reds. There we go. Good. That's all you need to do. Just get those colors on there. That's perfect. You don't need to worry about anything else. Good. Now the next part is pretty simple. It's our rocks. So we're going to put lots of rocks down here. Whatever way you want them, you can put them on there. And we are going to use our small flat brush for that. So now for our rocks, all you need is black paint. Just pure black paint and your small flat brush. And put your flat brush in black paint both sides. And all you're going to do is decide where you want your rocks. So let's say you want a rock here. Just put a straight line, and depends on how big you want it, and then a hump, and then fill it in. That's one rock. See? That looks so cool. And then we are going to do more rocks. So we can put another one over here somewhere. Just wherever you want them. And however big you want them. If you want it only small like that, you make a smaller hump, see? And then you fill it in. Then you got your rock. You make a little nose on the end there. Got a nice little nose there. If you want to add another rock out underneath this one, you can make your straight line and your hump and fill it in. Try to make that line pretty straight there so we can make it come back a little further. So you make it as big as you want or whatever way you want your rock. So I also probably, let's see, maybe a little one here. Straight line and a hump. There we go. Fill it in the back there. So you can shape it up whatever. Once you get the straight line, the hump, you can straighten it up. You can fill it in any way you want. So maybe we'll have a little one here. Straight line. Hump, fill it in. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. I'm thinking maybe we'll have one here and a hump, fill it in. Maybe a small one down there where you can't see it. And then I think it'd be nice to have two right here so that the water can flow over the rocks. So let's say we got a rock here, and we got one here. So that the water can flow in between, gives it little waterfalls. So we'll just put a hump, fill it in, a hump, fill it in. get some nice little rocks going on there. See? I don't think we need too many more than that. That looks good. Good. So while we're doing the highlighting, we can do our little bit more highlighting on the waterfalls and in the background here. And so we'll do some nice highlighting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that same, I'm going to take my fan brush to highlight the waterfalls in the background. And I'm going to, before I, I'm going to take some white paint on my fan brush. I'm just going to add a little more white to the waterfalls to brighten them up a little bit. Now, if you like them the way they are, you do not have to do this, because if you do this and you don't like what you did, it's hard to get it back to the way you liked it. So my brush is pretty big. You might need a smaller brush. I'm just going to highlight. There we go. I'm not going to put much on. I'm just going to drag it down and see what happens. Because I don't want to... That's all. Just a little bit of, as you see the water coming down. You just touch and pull. Same thing you did before. Touch and pull. See? So you don't have to do a big lot. Depends on how much highlight you want down there. See? You can even take a piece here and pull down and give it a second waterfall if you wanted to. So just make it look like it's coming down on another, maybe it's a bit of rock or something in there. So we'll leave that part, and then we'll take our small flat brush again and we'll add a little bit of color up here. So let's just go with some red and yellow. Some yellow on one side and red on the other. So yellow on one side and red on the other. And we'll put the yellow side down and we'll put a little bit of a, it's like a little river in the back is where the waterfall is coming from, and the reflection of the sun, of the sunset, is on that water there. See, that gives it a bit of color. Good. Now, let's highlight the rocks. So let's put a little bit of that same color on our rocks, because we might be getting a little bit of sun coming down on top of the rocks. So all you have to do is take your brush and start at the very top of the rock and just pull on a bit of color and just move it around. So start at the top and then just move it around so you get a little bit of highlight. We don't want to overdo it. A little bit on the top. Get more color if you need it. And then you're going to start at the top, a little bit of your color, and then you're going to pull down all on the very edge here, and then all you got to do is move it around, okay? And on the back, just move it around. We want to leave some of that black. Just all we're doing is just doing a little bit of highlighting. Make some little short strokes, whatever way you can get it on, but start at the top and then move your way down. All right? Because if you start anywhere, you might get it won't give it a good shape. So start at the top, on the edge, and then move it around. And get a bit of a rock. So let's try this one over here. So you shake them all up, get a bit of yellow, red, brown, white, whatever colors you want, it doesn't matter. You can mix them all together. Not too bright, so that it looks odd. Start at the top and then move your brush around, see? There's too much paint on your brush to take it off. Just move your brush around. See, there we go. You have to move your brush around to get the shapes that you're looking for. So you may not get it right away. But as long as you start at the top, you should be okay. And as long as you leave some black, leave your black. See, this one here is almost highlighted already. Start at the top, come on down the front here, around the back. And remember, the sun is on this side over here, so we're going to brighten it up a little more over there because we don't want this one too bright. So darken it up with a bit of black. Might even give it a bit more of a nose. There we go. And here, start at the top, and work your way down. Just, there we go. Let's stay with this one for now. Right, just stay at the top, make sure you keep some of that black. See, you can go in here even. Just move your brush around until you get some shapes. And I want to add a little more highlight to the rocks here because that's where we said the light was. So we'll put a little bit here on the front. There we go. A little bit more. See how I'm staying close to the edge? Okay, good. And now, to make those rocks even more realistic looking, we can take our long liner brush, put black on it, and give some cracks in the rocks. Just pick a spot and move the cracks around like that. See? Black paint. Start at the bottom and move up. Move up some of those cracks. Might be hard to see if your rock is really dark, but see some of them. There we go. See? It gives it a little bit more realistic look. Good. Now, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our fan brush again, and then we're going to make sure it's clean because we want to have some nice, we're going to put some paint. So we're going to put water, little bits of water underneath the rocks, and they're called waterlines. Before I continue with that is, I am going to take my flat brush, just made boo-boo. Add a little bit of darkness down under the rocks for reflections, okay? So you can do that with your fan brush or with a flat brush. And we're just going to add a little bit, just very lightly, just a few little water lines. But they're shadows. They're shadows under the rocks, reflections of the rocks. Okay? Now I know this part down here is kind of... And we're going to add a few reflections, just a few. Don't need much. That's just a few little reflections there. So that makes it look a little better. And then you can take your fan brush and add your white water lines on top of that. Just right underneath the rock. There we go. Just little water lines. When you put your water line on, bring it out in front of the rock there. It would be better if your rocks were dry so that your white can stay white. But if they're not, it's okay because you can use it for a shadow. There we go, that's good. I can edit that out. I'll edit that out. All right. And then we will add some more right here and here. I get that to stay up here, then you'll be able to see it. Can you see it down there? Just so you can see it, I'll just get this right here. Put that back up here. And so now we want to clean your brush, clean your fan brush, and we'll go into our white. And we will clean up this edge here with a little bit of white water lines. There we go. A few little water lines here also. On top of the water. Just gives it more interest. We're getting down here now by our rocks where we can make a little waterfalls. So maybe the water is coming from over here and over here, and it's coming in and falling over those rocks. So let's try taking our white, and we'll put a little tiny bit of blue in with it. Not much, just enough to, so it won't be like white chalk. So just add a little tiny bit of blue. And we'll come out here like the water's moving from somewhere back here, and it's coming out, and then we can just come right down over the rock. Touch and pull, same as when you did before. See? So, let's try that again. On this side, the water's just kind of flowing in from over here somewhere. And as it's coming in, it's going over the rock and down. So touch over and down. Touch over and down. Same as you did at the top. And then you can just make a little splash on the end there. Not much of one because it's only just a little bit of a flow. And then you just flow. Just bring some water lines down here. And that's it. You can make as many waterfalls as you want. You could even have one coming over here. Just flowing in, flowing in. So that gives the water a moving look. It looks like it's moving. It's movement in the water. There we go. Good. So I want to make sure that it makes sense. So the water is coming in from all over the place, really. And it's just moving around. So we want to make sure it looks like it's moving from somewhere up here. It's coming in, and then it's coming down and falling over these rocks. So that's just water moving in from all over. It gives it that sense of movement. If you need more, just go touch over and down, touch over and down. There we go, some cute little falls. There we go. Bring some water back here. All right, that looks good. Now all we need to do really, is we're almost finished. All we need to do now are a few touch-ups. And then you can add whatever else you want to it. If you want to put a few little birds in the sky, or you want to put some people standing up there, or whatever you want to do, you can do whatever you want with this painting. Or you can leave it as it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a few more touch-ups to the waterfalls right here. I'm just going to add a little bit more white. Bring it over a little bit more as if it's splashing. And just a little more white on top of here. See, just with the corner of my brush, a bit of white. Gives it kind of a nice little effect. And I'm going to take my Bristle brush, and I'm going to add a few more highlights up here, and then we're done. So I'm just going to add a little bit of green and yellow together. And I'm just going to highlight this little bit up here. That's where the sun is. And then the highlights up there, maybe a little bit down here. Just so we have some foliage to give it some color. You can also add a little bit of color by adding a little bit of red. Just add maybe just some red flowers, who knows? Who knows what's there? Could be flowers. Little bushes. Don't need much. Just add a little bit of color, that's all. See? And over here in this corner, we'll keep it a little dull because of the light. So just add a bit of green to those colors. And a little bit of tap, tap, tap. And that will give it a little bit of a duller color over here because it is in the shade. So that's kind of nice. A little bit down here. There we go. I think that should do it. So I think that's done. Thank you very much for following along with me today, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and you subscribe and you get a lot more videos in my channel, and you can give me a like if you enjoyed this video, and share if you think other people may enjoy this video. So I'd love to see your paintings. Email your paintings to me at allisonpryor@yahoo.com, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!